In this question, we determine the volume of the solid obtained by revolving the region R about the x-axis, where the region R is the bounded region of the curves y equals x cube, y-axis, and the line y equals pi. And since the axis of revolution is about the x-axis, we utilize the formula to determine the volume of solid by revolving the region about x-axis is given by this formula, that is a definite integral from x equal to a to x equal to b pi times of the big R of x quantity square minus the small r of x quantity square dx, where this big R of x represents the top radius or the radius of the top curve, and then the small r of x represents the bottom radius or the radius of the bottom curve. So let's find the r of x and the small r of x. We have r of x, the big R of x. We should have sketched the graph or the bounded regions here from the figure. We can see that we have the curve y equals x cube and the line y equal 5 and the y-axis. So R is the region, this one represented by R. So we are rotating this region about the x-axis, and we determine the volume about the volume of the solid obtained when it is revolved about the x-axis. And for that, we should determine the big R of x. The big R of x is this radius of the top curve, which is represented by y equals x cube. So I write R of x equals x cube, and then the small r of x is the radius of the bottom curve. So here it is touching, I'm sorry, the big R of x is y equals pi. So this will be phi, it's not x cube. Only the small r of x is touching the y equals x cube. So this will be x cube. And let's also determine the limits, that is a and b. And we integrate this from x equals 0. This is the lower point, and x equal to b. So for that, we need to determine the point A, which we can determine by solving the two equations, that is the y equal to x cube and the line y equal to 5. So we have to solve the curve y equal to x cube and the line y equal to 5. When you solve these two equations, we get the point A, or the x coordinate of A. So since these two quantities represents y, we can now say that x cube equals 5, and so this gives x equals 5 power 1 by 3, or otherwise a cube root of 5. So we have determined that x equals 5 power 1 by 3. This is the upper limit for the integral. This one is a, and this one is b. So let's put all these values into the formula and determine the volume. So therefore we say volume of solid obtained, this equals pi times of the definite integral from x equal to a, which is 0, and x equal to b, which is 5 power 1 by 3, and then the big R of x quantity square, which is 5 square, minus the small r of x is x cube quantity square, and this has to be integrated. We put dx. So let's integrate and evaluate this. We have pi in front. Let's simplify before we integrate. 0 to 5 power 1 by 3. 5 squared is 25, minus the square of this one is these two will get multiplied. So 3 times 2 is 6. So this one is x power 6. Then we put dx. Now we integrate each terms inside the bracket. The integration of 25, which is a constant, is 25x, minus the integration of x power 6 is x raised to the power of, we add the 1 to the power, which is 6 plus 1 is 7, divided by the same number 7. And then this must be evaluated between 0 to 5 power 1 by 3. So first we apply the upper limit. So this equals pi times of 25. Replace x by 5 power 1 by 3. So this is 5 power 1 by 3, minus now replace x by 5 power 1 by 3. raised to the power of 7 divided by 7. This we have applied the upper limit minus we apply the lower limit 0, and when we do so we get 0 here, we also get 0 here. So overall this is 0, we can put as 0. Now let's simplify this. And so this equals pi times of, we have 25 times 5 power 1 by 3. I write this as it is. And now this can be written as 5 raised to the power of 7 raised to the power of 1 third. And this is divided by 7. Now let's evaluate this expression. That is, this is basically 5 power 7 is 5 multiplied with itself 7 times. So I am putting 7 fives. And then we take the raised to the power of 1 by 3, which is basically a cube root. So basically we are finding the cube root of 5 power 7, which is 5 multiplied with itself sometimes. And when we find the cube root, we take the numbers which are in triple. So this one we have, we should find a product of three numbers, same numbers. And if we do so, we take it 1 5 out of this cube root, so it will be 5. And here also we have another triple of 5, so we take this, so we already have 5, and then this one is left, so which I can write this as 5 raised to the power of 1 by 3. And so this becomes 5 times 5 is 25 times 5 power 1 by 3. So we have simplified this as 25 is equals 25 times 5 power 1 by 3, which I will put in the next step. So we have pi times of, here we have 25 times 5 power 1 by 3 minus this one is also 25 times 5 power 1 by 3. This is divided by 7. And this means we can now factor, this one is basically 1. We can factor this 25 times 5 power 1 by 3 from these two terms, or from these two fractions. And when you do so, we get pi times of 25 times 5 power 1 by 3. Factoring out this, we get 1 by 1 is 1, minus this one will be 1 divided by 7. And so this gives, this is a fraction. 1 minus 1 by 7 is 6 by 7. So therefore, we have pi times of 25 times 5 power 1 by 3 multiplied by 6 by 7. And this simplifies to 25 times 6 is 150. So I write down this as 150 pi over 7, and this one multiplied with 5 power 1 by 3, that is cube root of 5. Or else we can also give this in terms of decimal approximation, and this one is approximately 115.115. The unit is unit cube. And so this is the volume of the solid obtained by revolving the region or about x-axis.